Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Giorgio, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I am back with another wrestling pay-per-view, and it's for the WWE Elimination Chamber 2019 pay-per-view. And I'm telling you guys, this pay-per-view was off the charts. I mean, I literally have no negative things. Well, actually, there was a few dull moments there, like during the Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor matchup, which I'm gonna talk about that in just a few minutes. Um, this was in the Houston Toyota Center. And so I think they even showed like a promo of where the Royal Rumble is supposed to be at for next year. Um, and of course, the first match to start off this pay-per-view was the Women's Elimination Chamber, you know, women's tag team titles that were on the line for that matchup. And, the teams were Nia Jax and Tamina. The Riot Squad was, which was just Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. And then the Iconics, Carmella and Naomi, Sasha and Bailey, of course, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And one of the crazy spots in this match was they did this really crazy suplex powerbomb combo, which taking out a good majority of the women. And then you know what? The Iconics were in this match. I think they were the third team that entered, and they are just so annoying. I cannot stand them sometimes. What's that girl? Peyton Royce. She had a new hair color, which that was different, And actually, they dominated the match for a good deal of time, so that was very surprising. And I think each team got some good offense, and Naomi and Carmella, they didn't really get much offense in this match, and pretty much everyone was hitting their finishers on each other. The Iconics had eliminated Carmella and Naomi. And they even had a point in the match where, Naomi and Mandy Rose were squaring off. I can see those two feuding with each other at Mania or either at Fastlane. Probably, I don't know if they're going to have them on the main card. It just depends. The Iconics, they had got eliminated by a double Samoan drop combination from Tamina and Nia Jax. And Nia Jax and Tamina, they came in there and they was just destroying everybody. It was really crazy, and and then they had this cool spot where Nia threw Bailey outside of the ring, and then Bailey tried to sidestep, Nia's rushing attack that she was gonna try to throw Bailey into that pod, but Bailey moved out of the way, and Nia Jax went crashing through one of them little chamber pods out there. And then everyone ganged up on Tamina and eliminated her. And then the fans was chanting, "Hey, hey, goodbye to Nia Jax." Rightfully so, because hey, everything that's been going on with Nia injuring people, people are not really happy about that. But then, surprisingly, enough, Sonya and Mandy Rose were the last team versus Bailey and Sasha. And they had this really cool tag team move that Bailey and Sasha Banks did, in where Sasha Banks, he hit a backstabber on Sonya Deville, and then Bailey ended up hitting her with that Bailey the belly suplex, whatever that was. And that was a really crazy spot. I really like that tag team move right there. And then, of course, I think Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose have miscommunication, and that caused Sasha Banks them to, put Sonya Deville in this bank statement, which is that it's kind of like a cripple across face, but instead of doing it the normal way that Sasha Banks had been doing that move, she used her leg instead to put that submission hold on Sonya Deville. So I thought that was really impressive, and as predicted, Sasha Banks and Bailey win the elimination chamber, and they win the first ever WWE Women's Tag Team titles. And you know what? This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking one day, like after a match, I think they should have it where she turns on Sasha Banks and just blast her with the with the women's tag team titles. That would be a great way to turn Bayley heel, because I think it's time for them to make that change with Bayley. And one thing I will say about when Sasha Banks comes out to the ring is she gives you like goosebumps whenever you see her coming out. Like, she captivates you from the first time you see her. And I don't know if there's many women on the WWE main roster that gives you that feel. Maybe Charlotte, and yes, Becky Lynch as of late, but Sasha Banks is definitely in a class of her own on Monday Night Raw for sure. You know, and I can definitely see Charlotte and possibly Becky Lynch going over there to Raw. And I would love to see Sasha Banks on SmackDown if they continue this whole dual brand thing. Um, but yeah, that match was pretty decent. No complaints there. And now we're on part two of this pay-per-view review, because as I said, this was a 4-hour pay-per-view. I'm gonna try not to just break down every little move, because that will literally take me forever. um, so basically the next match after that was the SmackDown Tag Team titles, which is Miz and Shane McMahon versus the Usos. And then Maurice, she came out there and announced that her and The Miz are having another baby. That was funny. You know. And you know what? I thought maybe she was going to interfere in the match, because normally, when she's out there, you can expect her to interfere, but she didn't. And also, there was the story, I guess towards this weekend, where, one of the Uso brothers, Jimmy Uso, he got, arrested for being hostile with the police officer. And so a lot of people wasn't expecting the Usos to win tonight, but guess what? They won. And I didn't expect WWE to fire them or anything like that over that situation. I did expect them to be in some kind of trouble, so I was kind of shocked, or well, not shocked, but surprised that the Usos won tonight. But you can definitely tell that The Miz and Shane McMahon are going to be feuding with each other. And tonight, after the Usos done won, The Miz was saying he was sorry and all of that. And I can just see The Miz snapping on Shane McMahon, and them two end up feuding with each other at WrestleMania. And as for the tag team title match, Shane McMahon looked really good in this match in terms of his in-ring performance with all the moves he was doing. He wasn't as sloppy as he, sometimes can be with certain moves. He even did this cool coast to coast move on one of the Uso brothers. And man, the fact that he can hit that move like that with hardly no problem is very impressive. And I like the intensity that the Usos have when they come to the ring as a tag team. There's not many tag teams in the WWE that gets you hyped like those guys do. And I'm still very high on the Usos, man. So it was really cool to see them win, And so now we're going on to the Intercontinental title matches. The Intercontinental title match, which is very unique because it's gonna be basically a handicap match where it's gonna be Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush versus Finn Balor. And the way this match works is, Finn Balor can pin either one and win the match. And you can definitely tell that they're gonna be leading to something with Lashley and Lio Rush. And guess what? It definitely happened in this match, because Lio Rush, he pretty much asserted himself. He was acting like the cowardly heel, running around the ring, trying to, give Lashley any advantage that he could. And pretty much Bobby Lashley worked Finn Balor's ribs during most of the match. And the crowd was kind of, they was kind of just, they really wasn't as interested in this match, at the beginning. And I admit it was kind of dull, but of course, Leo Rush asserted himself by when Lashley was gonna go for that spear to, spear Finn Balor. Leo Rush tagged himself in, and that pretty much cost them the match because, Leo Rush he tried to go for some kind of move and he missed it, and Finn Balor was able to pin him without Lashley being in the ring. And yeah, Lashley was furious. And then after that, he hit Leo Rush with a devastating spine buster. So you can pretty much say that these two together is pretty much over. So yeah, Finn Balor is your new Intercontinental Champion. He may not be the Universal Champion, but at least he has some kind of belt. Okay, so now we have the you have Ronda Rousey. She's defending her women's title against Ruby Riott, and man, I didn't even think Ronda Rousey was going to be defending her belt at this pay-per-view, and I kind of wish they would have saved this match for like a Raw or something. That would have been pretty interesting. I didn't, of course, no one was expecting Ruby Riott to win this match, and I think this whole match was to build towards the inevitable Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte and versus Becky Lynch. You can tell, especially because they had Charlotte out there and they had Charlie interviewing her and everything. You can tell that this triple threat match is gonna happen. I know a lot of people don't want to see that happen, but the way they're booking this, if Charlotte was gonna be facing against Asuka for that WWE title, the SmackDown Women's title, they would be, building towards that match, but they're not. I definitely think we're gonna see a triple threat match, and the thing is, with the story before all of this, it had nothing to do with Charlotte. So it's just weird, man. Yes, it might be the better match, but storyline wise, it's not the best match. But that's what they're going for. And then of course, Ronda Rousey, she made quick work of Ruby Riott, and then of course Becky Lynch shows up through the crowd on crutches and making everyone think that she's still hurt, which we all know Becky Lynch is not hurt for real. She's not injured. And so basically, Becky Lynch just beats the hell out of Charlotte and Ronda Rousey with those crutches. And speaking of that, I forgot to mention this. What was really cool was, Ronda Rousey, she came out there dressed as Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat. I thought that was really cool. That was a really cool thing about that. And then, of course, after that, we had Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin in a no disqualification match, which I will admit I was not very interested in this match. I didn't even know it was going to happen, but it did. And so basically, Baron Corbin was, beating up Braun with the kendo sticks, and, they was fighting it out. And of course, Braun then hit Baron Corbin with the power slam through the tables. But then, right as Braun was going to go for the win, Drew McIntyre music hit, and then he came out there. And then, of course, from behind, Lashley attacks Braun Strowman with a steel chair. And so they all just commits to just beating the hell out of Braun with steel chairs and ring steps. It was just really crazy. And what was crazy was they set up two tables in the ring, and they basically did like a shield bomb through and throwing Braun Strowman through those two tables, causing Baron Corbin to win. So I'm guessing they're gonna set up some kind of massive heel stable with those three guys. I don't know where this is going to lead to or what's gonna happen, because hey, Braun doesn't have any help. I mean, who you gonna get him to help him out? What, Finn Balor, Kurt Angle? So I don't know where this is going to head, but though, that's the plan going forward. And then Lacey Evans' music hit, But I don't even remember seeing her. I don't know what they was doing. Then they cut to these multiple promos for WrestleMania and the Fastlane pay-per-view. And honestly, y'all, I'm not feeling that music that they chose for WrestleMania this year. I don't know why they picked that, They be picking these old bad sounding generic rap songs. I like rap music, but I like good rap music, and I would actually prefer rock songs, really good rock songs for WrestleMania. These songs do not get me excited at all for these WWE pay-per-views. They can do a better job of picking better music for their shows to help promote it. And then of course they did some promotional stuff for Paige's new movie, which looks very interesting. I might end up checking that out. And so now we have the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship match, and like I said, I'm not gonna break down every big move of this match because all I can tell you is this match was very good from beginning to end. I would definitely recommend you all go and watch that match because basically Kofi Kingston was the MVP in that match. Even though he did not win, he was the MVP, man. He was doing some really good stuff. Of course, Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan, they started it off. And Randy Orton, he was the last one to enter. And, man, his RKOs just get even more fun to watch. Because AJ Styles, he tried to do a phenomenal forearm, and Randy Orton ended up countering into an RKO. That was just sick. And then of course Bryan and Samoa Joe, they was chopping each other like crazy, and it was just, man, I have nothing bad to say about this match. Jeff Hardy, he was doing pretty good. He hit this really cool swanton bomb on AJ Styles where he had, threw AJ on top of that turnbuckle, and then Jeff Hardy got on top of that Elimination Chamber pod, and he hit the swanton bomb off of there. And it was just sick, man. and then towards like the end of the match, it was Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. They was just going at it, man. Kofi was just throwing Bryan into that Elimination Chamber wall or whatever, and I have some of the cool spots that that they were doing, and I can tell you, man, this is the loudest reaction Kofi Kingston got probably in recent years. Like, it's been a long time since Kofi got the reaction that he got tonight from the WWE fans. And if you're WWE, you need to push this man. You need to give him that WWE Championship win, because if Kofi Kingston doesn't do anything big right now with the momentum that he has, then he's not going to ever get that point. He's not going to ever be in that top position. And I think it's time for Kofi Kingston to leave the New Day. And you know what? It definitely seems like that's where it's going to happen. They need to go on and end this whole New Day thing. Have them turn on Kofi. They feud with him, leading the fast lane. And then after that, you can have Kofi go for the WWE Championship. And I think it'll be a great feud with him and Daniel Bryan. Why not? You can't go wrong there. So yeah, eventually, Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, they was fighting on top of the pod. I think Kofi was gonna try to suplex him off of it, but Daniel Bryan was able to counter, and then they fought again, and then of course Kofi ended up pushing Bryan off of the Elimination Chamber pod, and so Kofi was thinking about what should he do next, so he ended up going for a splash, but of course Daniel Bryan was gonna move out of the way, and then that allowed Daniel Bryan to hit that running knee on Kofi Kingston to get the win. And it was really clever how Kofi Kingston was countering everything, before that Daniel Bryan threw at him. So it was very impressive. And with that being said, like I said earlier at the beginning of this review, this pay-per-view was great. It wasn't the best, but in terms of like I would say pay-per-view of the year, but it definitely could be the best main roster pay-per-view of the year because I'm not sure about Mania just yet. You know, hopefully they can sell me on Mania going forward. We'll have to see, but definitely WWE has a big thing right now with Kofi Kingston, and they should not mess that up. They still got the fans caring about Becky Lynch. You cannot screw that up. You know, please. Those two right there are the people that they need to worry about trying to make a big star out of right now. And you know, like I say, you guys, if you can find a way to watch this pay-per-view, at least watch the men's elimination chamber match because you're gonna love what Kofi did in that match. And yes, you can watch the women's tag team title match as well because you know it doesn't take long. But yeah, I have, like I said, you know, I enjoyed the pay-per-view. It was fun to watch. And I can't wait to see what I'm gonna do next on this channel. Thank you all for staying, you know, with me as we, you know, as I try to do better on this channel and create new things. So until next time, you all be blessed and stay safe and warm. Okay, or whatever. Good night, or goodbye, or good day, whatever it is that you might be, whatever time you may be listening to this. Until next time, take care.